Yay, I'm back! My name is Chris Farah. Welcome to my channel where tonight I'll be discussing the episode 9 of 90 Day Fiancé season 8 that we just watched. Okay, so just quick review of what happened. Last 2 weeks I was in Park City, so I just had like bad Wi-Fi reception the entire time. So I tried to do what that would have been episode 7, and that was accomplished in 2 uploads after technical issues. And then while I streamed and watched episode 8 of last week, I just kept having so many streaming issues watching the episode where I was, and I was like, if I go live, it's just going to be buffer city, you know. So sorry. I'm going to go ahead and for this episode do an edited recap where I'll talk about both episodes, episode 8 and episode 9 and episode 7. Oh Lord, I have 3. It was a long Park City vacation, staying at a beautiful Airbnb where now I can ski, kind of. Anyway, let's talk about tonight. This year, just like I felt like tonight was a transitional episode. The best things that happened, obviously, were the Harris confession, and which is why it happened at the end. And I think the Brandon and Julia mom scene. So like it was really bookended by stuff, and then for 2 hours we watched like I don't even know. You tell me. Zayed taking a stand. Yeah, that part was good. Anyway, we'll get into it. So, why don't we start with Brandon and Julia? Okay, so hot on the heels of Julia being like, be a man. I've talked to my dad, Brandon, and I hate it here. I don't like any of it. The animals, nothing. I'm out. Okay, cool. Like, I was never going to be into this. And I hate it now, and I'm going to continue to hate it, and get me out. And if you're a man and you want to marry me, do that. And Brandon's like, I'm definitely like a boy, un garçon, if you will, in French. Like, let's get that right. Like, look at me. I mean, like, I don't know why your dad thinks I'm a man. He's met me. But so Brandon goes to his parents, and his parents are like, let's have this important discussion at a Chili's. And he's like, okay, cool. So they go to a Chili's. And just side note is, in one of the very early recaps of this, I said that Brandon's parents were swingers, and turns out they are. I have a gift, and I'll tell you what that gift is. I think that I am intuitive when it comes to sexual proclivities. It feels like I can sniff out like the sexual boundaries of people or lack thereof, or conformities to society. Like they're swingers. I knew it. I've been knowing it. That's what's happening. Okay. So at this Chili's, it's like Brandon says, Julia doesn't like it. We got to leave. She wants to leave. And Betty takes this to be like, you'll never see us again. We're leaving you, your whole life, everything you've wanted, all your hopes, all your dreams gone because we're going to move out. I mean, Betty's like, but the farm that we always wanted to go to you. And Brandon, instead of being like, yeah, mom, like, I really want to cut this cord. And that was a great dream of yours, like, not so much mine. Brandon can't say that, right? Because he's like Betty's little boob. And so he's like, well, it's Julia. That's what she wants. I just can't do anything about it. And then because he's like a wet noodle, like his dad is like, it is you're the man, you gotta say something, you can't, and so it gets pinned all on Julia that she is just this like ungrateful woman who wants to tear Betty's baby from her boob, and Betty's like, no. I mean, like, Brandon just sit there, smirks about it. It is so horrible. And I feel like, please, it's fake, right? They cannot sit there and cry about their son, like leaving their residence because his like almost wife wants to with such unawareness without it being put on. It has to be a show. Please. What do you guys think? Um Brandon gets on my nerves and his parents are the worst bees. Haha, hello everyone. Hi, I love my little domestic gordita. Um I feel very like a domestic chalupa. By the way, chalupa means like a little boat. I wanted to look it up. That's what it means. And it's true. Um yeah, I think this is the first time you stood up to them and I would see their cries being real. Okay, so this is just the worst. So then after this conversation, he's Brandon like sniffs out what he's wanted, which is he doesn't want to leave. Brandon doesn't want to leave because Brandon's cheap, right? But Brandon wants to bone. He wants to bone Julia while still being very close to his mother so she can clean out the hot tub. You can clean all the cum out of the jets, like, okay. So he then devises a plan. I mean, on what feels like a Hail Mary 11th hour pass where he's like, well, I wonder what would happen if you guys could just like throw us a bone here and throw me a bone, which is to allow us to sleep in the same bed. Now, Ron is immediately like, no, 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 no. But Betty, honey, Betty makes the decisions. Doesn't care what Ron says. Betty's like, hear him out, hear him out. If I allow my son to sleep with this whore, I still get free farm work, and I get to keep my son. And Ron's like, no, just leave then. And she's like, shut up, Ron. I'm not going to let you watch the next door neighbor plow me tomorrow night if you keep this up. I mean, like, okay, I mean, he's a cuckold is what I'm saying. Ron just, Carol Baskin, when you watched Tiger King and you saw that relationship that Carol Baskin has with her husband, similar. Like, there's times Ron's like wearing a harness and like a leash, a ball gag, and she's walking him around the farm. And they have those things because they breed dogs. Okay? So, then Brandon gets his mom to agree, which is like what he's wanted anyway. But now he has to go talk his Julia into it. So then what they're at, a honky tonk pool thing. And Julia is wearing makeup. She feels great. I mean, she's washed like the pig mud off, and she's put on a cat eye, honey. She feels great. She looks great. Lou guy, no, you are wrong. That's Stephanie and Ryan. So at this place, he's like, all right, Julia, we could move out, but what if we stayed and slept in the same room? And then out of nowhere, because they never discussed this, but we'll see, he's like, and you don't have to do any of that stupid farm stuff, like no more animal work. Julia's like, I don't believe you, which she shouldn't. And that's her intuition talking. It's her female intuition taking the right stand, but she's feeling good. She probably had a few beers, cat eye can really do wonders for the soul. So she's like, all right, but then she has the other intuition being like, so your mommy doesn't think that I'm bad girl. I don't know why I'm giving her Arabic accent. Bad girl, whatever. And he's like, no. When Brandon lies, which is all the time, like when you watch him, you're just like, you see that too, right? Like, Betty now hates Julia, which is exactly what Julia thinks is going to happen, which is she's going to go back and have like other cooks in the kitchen, chiefly Betty, because she's been cooking in that kitchen. And she's like, I don't know how you would say yes to this. You already know what's going to happen. Brandon doesn't want to pay rent because how would he afford Pokemon cards and Robux? I mean, I just love that. Brandon's like, just like if I move out, like I can't live at the level and comfort level that I've grown accustomed. I'm just like, what is that? I mean, Brandon obviously has to stand up for himself and say what he wants, which is like, do you know what he wants? Like, what do you think Brandon wants? Do you think Brandon wants the farm? It feels like he is okay with the farm, but he really doesn't want to run anything because he's not a man. You know, he's not like, I mean, he's not a man. He's not strong enough to like run shit. He's not a dominant personality. He doesn't go after what he wants and like strong-minded in that way. So, but it awfully seems like he doesn't want to leave. But at the same time, he wants to like use Julia, I feel like, to get away. He's using Julia in some way to like draw the boundary and line and kind of goes between Betty and Julia depending on whatever fits his fancy in that moment without upsetting the other. I mean, I can't wait till both women, well, now that this show is airing, watch this and watch that man work. And they're just like, wait, you told your mom that like it was all me? And then have Betty watch him be like, I want to leave, you know, like, I don't know, like, well, actually, I think he more betrays Julia than his mother in this season. Brandon is a follower. I mean, to the most like ninth degree. I mean, he is wishy-washy. He has no spine. Whatever is like, he's like a little snail without a home. Well, actually, he has a home. It's a farm. But like, he's just a slug. I think Brandon doesn't want the farm, but doesn't want to stand up to his parents and is being passive. Yeah, it's just that, you know, like, why doesn't he understand that like animals aren't Julia's thing? You know, like, why doesn't he get that more if he doesn't want the farm? Like, he could see that, like, maybe animals aren't everyone's thing. I love you guys. Betty is sick. Okay, so we will see what happens with that situation. Like, what is ultimately like scary is they're all going to go back and live in the same house, and we don't know what Ron and Betty think Julia's going to do now. Like, whether Ron and Betty are like, well, she gets to sleep in the bed with my son, so now for sure she'll get up at 5 a.m. and feed the chickens. She has to be so happy. She gets to fuck with my son every night. I also just love the idea of them being like, we don't want to hear them. Betty doesn't want to hear them in bed. And can you imagine what Brandon has heard his whole life? The sounds, noises, all of them that he has heard every single night from multiple sources every weekend when he sees, you know, old Uncle Bloopity Bloops and, you know, like mom's friend that he calls an aunt, you know, like slither away into like the back barn. And what wet, squishy noises and weird, deep moans that he's like, it's just the chickens. When he knows it's the sound of his dad's butt. I really want you to understand that. Oh, I got a super chat. What a great time. Thank you so much, Candy. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet, Candy. You're little Candy. Oh, so happy that I caught your review. Thank you so much. You know, everyone's talking about my eyebrows, and I really appreciate that. And I, you know, the Anastasia made like a brow, like wet pomade that it was supposed to sort of rival the Glossier like boyfriend brow, and I use that instead of like filling them in with the brow pencil I usually do. Yeah, I'll take it though. Thanks, guys. Okay, so yeah, but I mean, having said that, obviously, you know, it isn't like Betty doesn't do her share. She cleans that jacuzzi, honey. I mean, here's the thing: like, she just sometimes like. She gets tired and she just ends up just like diving in and just like swimming in the jizz of her husband and her son all night long, you know. But it's probably like good protein. It's like how she keeps skin moist and young. Jovi and Yara. Okay, this is like not, I feel like I'm not into this storyline. I like Yara, and I've said that. Like, I find her entertaining. And I think she's necessary because I do think their storyline's boring. And if it wasn't for Yara's sparkling personality and charm and wit, I mean, what would we have? We would have Jovi. And then someone that decided to be with Jovi. It's actually remarkable that we get Yara, if you think about that. So I'm going to, you know what, I realized I'm going to rewatch this and I'm going to hate how many times I was like, hi, Damani. Okay. What the jacuzzi has seen, honey. Okay. So Yara has been alone. And the time that she's been alone, she's gotten that one manicure and with, you know, the friend that like basically was like, Jovi's a pig, and went to some sort of meal with Jovi's mom, or Jovi's mom again pressured her to get like some sort of wedding reception. And she's like, I hate this. I hate you. Stop asking me. And the other thing that happened was she talked to her friend, and her friend's like, you're pregnant. And she's like, oh. And then she takes the pregnancy test, and lo and behold, she is. Because in this season, we do not know how babies work or where they come from. It's always a surprise when someone's pregnant, like how it could happen or how it cannot happen. Okay, so she goes and picks up Jovi from the airport when he's finally back from his like, you know, month-long work. And it's like 8:20 and he's like drinking. Okay. And so this goes into what that friend said, which is like, Jovi is not only ready to like not be a father. He's like, I can't believe you would marry him. He's like gutter trash. He sleeps with strippers every night and they're very drunk and they pee in themselves. And that's the trash that you are deciding to, I don't know, have a baby with. Is that you? Okay, cool. That's like honestly Jovi's friend that says this. Ooh, okay. So now Yara is like, I'm pregnant and I have to like tell Jovi. And we've had this whole situation with the miscarriage and I'm just here. And what is this life? So they decide to walk around New Orleans, which she hates everything about New Orleans. But one thing that for some reason she's into is henna. Okay. So she decides to like get henna done by this white lady that in the middle of New Orleans Square, who in the white lady's like, I just freestyle do it. And just ends up drawing leaves. Not, I mean, like, isn't henna usually like curly? I mean, I don't know. I think of like, it's an Islamic situation, right? I think, or is it yeah, no, it's Islamic. So it's like, isn't it like supposed to be something? It's just whatever. But she now is privy to this conversation because Yara is, first of all, bathed in horrible sunlight that, I mean, takes away every part of her face. It's so funny because there are a lot of memes on the internet that are like, Yara looks like one of the white chicks from the White Chicks movie when the Wayans brothers played white chicks or whatever. And I always was kind of like, I mean, okay, kind of, but I like her so much. But in this shot of her getting the henna in New Orleans Square, honey, it is the worst lighting I've ever seen on someone. Like like she has no eyebrows, like, you know, like everything is washed out. I mean, she looked crazy. I mean, I took pictures of it. And so you're just going to have to like, believe me. But now she's like, I can't hide it. I need to talk to him about it. I'm pregnant. Okay. So she tells Jovi and Jovi's like, oh, no, you're not. And this girl is like painting henna on this hand, honey, freestyling, like, oops, shit. I was paying attention to the, you know, I don't know, whatever, God bless. So then Jovi requires her to take a pregnancy test to like prove to him. Here's the thing. Not a good sign if you're gonna like not a good sign to get married to someone that you don't trust. It's like he thought she was playing an elaborate ruse, but also not, okay, this is what it is. I'm sorry, I'm like ahead of myself. In the past, she played a joke on him where he contends that she said she was pregnant and waited all day and she wasn't pregnant. She's like, it was more like 10 minutes or whatever. It was like a full-on joke. Like she never tried to like pass it off. But he thinks truly that she's about to like pass it off. He thinks it's weird that she's only been in America for like 2 weeks and is already pregnant. How could that be? And Jovi, did you have sex with her without a condom? Did you? Because that's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it happened. You already know you're like incredibly fertile with this person. Jovi, like you just have to like look at her and she's pregnant. I mean, like that just happens for you guys a lot. I mean, I don't know, like you have magnetic. Anyway, so but he doesn't believe her and somehow like it feels like more sinister and nefarious, not just that he thinks that she's putting on this like funny ruse, ha ha ha, I'm joking, you're dumb, but more like what, I'm going to lock you into marrying me immediately to be pregnant? I don't think you're going to marry me because you love me, so I'm just going to like lock you with a baby pregnant? So makes her take a pregnancy test. It's inconclusive, if you will. God bless. Takes another one and she's pregnant. And feels bad about that. Now we already knew this, right? Like because they've already, had the baby. So, like we've been knowing what's happening, but it's just like it's sad, right? I mean, I don't want to ever I don't want to get married to someone who is Jovi or Jovi like in any way. Nor would like someone who wouldn't trust me saying that I'm pregnant. I can't imagine that. And then also for it to be televised, that was the choice I made. And his like really good friend took me to get a manicure and told me all that shit about him. Okay. Oh, Sawai's here! You guys, Sawai! No, that's Wa's sister. Oh my god, that's LaDonnie's mom. I want you to understand who we have in attendance. I love you, Sawai. I hope all's good with you. Happy New Year. Yes, the henna lady, like, I wonder what she pays for that, or like I wonder what her fee is. Like, do you notice that? And I got it. Like, Yara was like, "Are you free?" To be like, "Are you available?" And like, I would have been like, "Bitch, no, I'm not free. I'm available. I'm $40 an hour. Whatever it is. I'm $40 like whatever freestyle some like weird Ivy on you. You're welcome." And then give you like side eye when I'm over listening to your conversation. Okay. Oh, also, if you haven't yet, would you like this video? I always forget to say this, and at some point I'm like, say it. It's 22 minutes into this video. I haven't said it yet. Would you thumbs up this video, if you will? So, I hate to ask, but it'd be great if you would either like or dislike or engage in this video in some way, like either subscribing if you haven't subscribed to me, or liking this video, like I already said, by giving it a thumbs up. And sometimes you have to exit the chat to do so and enter back in the chat if you're on some sort of mobile device. And I understand that's annoying for you, but that'd be great for me. Just because there's like 80 people in this room, it would be great if like half of you. Oh, there it is. Five more means half of you like this video. And the other half, you guys are busy. You're on a Zoom right now. You're hearing me. You're like watching. I don't even know what maybe you're just driving home. You're like, Chris, I can't. I'm driving. But when I get home, I will. Okay. Brandon's trolling gave the thumbs down. Okay. Let's move on. Let's talk about Amira and Andrew. Okay, so why is she still talking to him? Why is she still talking to him? Is that what you were like? Okay, so it starts off with this conversation where she talks to Andrew, right? And the entire time you're like, why are you on this phone call? The minute I got arrested somewhere and your ass was in the same country as me, being the one that's arrested, that you made me come here and you stayed there, I wouldn't have engaged more in a relationship. I mean, aren't you just like, Amira, what? Thank God she has the decency to have that like crazy glasses wearing Xavier friend to like tell her what's up because she can't see. She has a great dad. The dad's like, he's not a man. I mean, Amira, I don't get it. Is it that how badly do you want to come to America? It's not that great. Don't you watch this show? You're in France. You're in France. Stay there. In the countryside of France. What are you gonna move to Ohio? I mean, I forgot where Andrew's from, honey, but I mean, okay, can't someone just tell her? I'm saying stay, Amira, stay. Are you insane? Okay. But no, we have to watch poor Amira, who we've grown to love, even though she's daft and dumb, honey. I mean, who is she and where is she from? Because, well, Egypt and France. But like, what? Come on. Okay. Oh, Waz in the room. Oh, actually, now I have a moderator. I didn't realize I didn't have a moderator that whole time. Oh, now that I say that, I should have picked up on that. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to make, maybe like one of you guys, Ramsterdam or domestic gordita, or like, like Micah, if you guys want to ever be a moderator, I could really use one now that I think about it. I even noticed that. But I feel like you don't have privileges. So do you want to have a privilege? Are you into being a moderator? You guys tell me if any of you guys would be into it. Okay. Not that we needed them. Everyone's cool here. So, but anyway, okay. So yeah. Then Andrew's like, so we have two options. Option one, wait. Not do anything. Amira's like, yeah, okay, so yes. And he's like, okay, option two, Serbia. Because here's the thing. Mexico sucked, but it was still kind of hot there. But what if you could be detained in like a really cold Serbian jail? How good does that sound? Like, here's the also thing. If I can't go this time to watch you from afar get arrested, like while I'm at some sort of Serbian resort, enjoying my life, because I have to work. Who's going to read story time to mommy's kitties in costume? Can't take that many weeks off in a pandemic. Okay. Truly. Ramsterdam. You're a mod. All that means is that if people say crazy things, you can just kick them out or put them on leave. No, you just like, you can time out people, just like it doesn't happen that much. Obviously you'll see it if it happens. Like if someone starts spamming or just starts being bananas, Okay, I'm going to make you both moderators so that you don't have to have all the work. You can, I just want to, and not that I want to give you more responsibility, but if you're in the room, I mean, just if you see something, you can do it. If you don't have to, though. Oh, yay. Okay, so then Amira takes all of this in, doesn't say anything, like, you're disgusting and I hate you and what a horrible idea and are you insane and why didn't you come and get me and literally my dad thinks you're trash. Doesn't say any of it. Just sits there on it. I mean, is he paying her? Is he giving her money? I mean, like, what is it? There has to be, I mean, it just cannot be his promise of America. It has Colty-like angles that he shoots his selfies from. Those Colty-like angles and the promise of America, for some reason, has got this girl blind. Enter Xavier. Okay. Xavier is her friend, her confidant. Okay. Side note is, I am trying to learn French. I'm trying to learn it on Duolingo. So I lived for this scene and just kept trying to like see if I could just absorb the French. But I love you, David. Xavier is her confidant. I don't know what his sexuality is. Because at first I was like, did they bone at one point and now they're just friends, or like brother and sister? Like I think that maybe he's just like a chill guy, He sits there and she tells him the whole thing, the two options, the Serbia, how he didn't come and get her in Mexico. And Xavier's like, you're insane. Don't go. Are you kidding? You're going to go and what? Have another shock? Do not go. He's not it. I don't like him. I don't like this relationship. I love the glasses I bought, though. Listen, Amira, I just want you to have a relationship with someone as respectful and as symbiotic as my relationship with these glasses. And like half of the respect that I have for you over the years, but I mean, he tells her, like, I feel like he tells her like in a way that isn't tiptoeing. I mean, I kind of wish that he could just like kind of scream it at her a little bit, like maybe just have taken off the glasses for like effect to be like, fucking insane, but I think that he like is just giving her fuel to the fire of like, no one likes this person. This person does not care about you. This person just wants like something to poke on when he like is done reading his Prince stories in his mom's daycare all night long. Okay? You guys, first of all, Jay, thank you so much. Chris, your eyebrows look mighty fine today. I am dying these eyebrows things. You guys are just this new bra. Okay, I love you, Jay. Thank you so much. Yeah, okay, you guys are into my eyebrows. Yeah, it's just the Anastasia, like, not dip brow, but it's like a product that comes in the like Glossier boy brow thing. Thank you guys. That's so sweet. What do you use on the inner corner? I have a little like Laura Mercier caviar stick, I think is what it's called. It's like a shimmery, creamy eyeshadow stick that you can just kind of like loop, loop, and then just sort of tap in. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, so I just really was into Xavier, and I'm, like, thank God that people are telling her, but I'm just like so mad at Amira, because she's still like, well, yeah, I'm so going to think about it. You're just like, think about what? Also, do we need like a girl to come in here and tell you what's up? Like, I love my dad and I love your dad, Amira, and I love the Xavier, but like, what is it? Do we need like a woman to come in here and be like, girl, you're a queen. Let's fucking pick ourselves up because it seems like we forgot. Okay, put our crown back on, honey, and keep it moving. You don't need them. Bye. Boy, bye. I mean, like, a weekend, she needs her best friend to, like, put Beyonce's Lemonade on 24/7 rotation for a weekend. Take this bitch out to Sedona. I mean, I don't know. That's America, like the desert, Palm Springs. I'm trying to think, like, there's so many beautiful places in Europe, like what's a transformational spiritual place for her to retouch her inner feminine goddess. Remember her strength and power and her worth. F this guy, right? Oh, I just want to like, what is it? Amira, I like makeup too, and I like blousey tops. And I wish I spoke Arabic, and I love my Arabic dad. And if Xavier was around, honey, he'd like me too, and we'd be friends. I know that. But I mean, come on. Okay. Rebecca and Zayed. Can you tell that I'm trying to like keep Stephanie and Ryan? And I can also talk about Mike and Natalie, but let's talk about Stephanie and Zayed. Okay. Oh, I forgot about there's a little there's a little Tariq and Hazel too, not a lot. Okay, Rebecca and Zayed, honey. So as we know, Rebecca hasn't been able to move like all her stuff in, honey. So she's like slowly, now that Zayed's here, getting in stuff. You have to understand, Rebecca is very, very busy at work at Joelle's Hot Chicken, where she's a manager. This is the height of the coronavirus/chicken wars. Oh, you know the chicken wars. Started with Popeyes, Oh, yeah. The crispy chicken sandwich, if you noticed, every fast food place has fried chicken sandwiches now. So Joelle's at this time, popping, popping, honey. Like, you can't get fried chicken. They're running out, I'm sure. So the fact that she's a manager and she has to deal with all the Karens, this is prime Karen season too. So this is just like chicken wars, Karen and COVID. She's losing her mind at work. She's losing her mind. She can literally move 2 pans at a time. One's a cast iron skillet. It's very heavy. She's like, I'm going to make you great steak in this. Now we know that, and I know that. And girl, get some butter, get some ghee. Yeah, baste the steak while it's there. Just like if you want to put a little rosemary, a little thyme, just keep basting it with the butter. But Zayed, honey, you gotta remember, he's Arabic. So he's like, meat lamb. Oh, I want lamb chops. Yeah, Arabs love lamb. Okay. So while they're unpacking, she's like, oh, okay, so one of my friends is coming over. You remember my friend Melanie, the one that looked you up because she didn't believe that you were like a good person? Melanie, aren't you so excited? Oh, look, she's here, and Zayed's like, um, he's built like a mailbox. I don't mind that. As long as I know what you're saying. As long as you're like square up here, you can be square down there. Okay, so yeah, you guys are gonna get into what I'm about to say. I only like tweeted once throughout this whole episode, but it's so bananas to me. So Melanie comes over, and we know Melanie because not only did she already like not like Zayed, as Rebecca said, but Melanie is the PI, right, that Rebecca worked for when Rebecca was crawling underneath the cars and putting the like tracking devices on the cars or whatever. And Melanie, I guess, still does that. So she's going to come ask the tough questions. And the tough questions are like, Zayed, what'd you do today? What'd you do today? And what Zayed did is wake up and have coffee, so much coffee. And she's like, we can't just have coffee. You have to go out and get a job, And Rebecca's like, he actually can. It's illegal. And this is sad, right? Because they like want so badly to paint Zayed as like a bum, no job bum, which, made sense when he lived in Tunisia because like, why didn't he have a job? Well, he was like HVAC, but like, how come he never had any money? How could you have no money living with your family when everything is just given to you? You should have some. You should have some money, but makes you sad because he actually can't have money, so it makes you feel bad about this situation with Zayed. He's trying his best. But what really is sad is that Melanie chastises Rebecca like, well, look, we're back here, Rebecca. Sitting in the stink of your old bad decisions. You married a younger man from a North African country, brought him here, he didn't work. We're sitting in the same apartment, whatever it is. And we, the audience, are just reminded that no one in Rebecca's life respects her. Not her daughter, not her best friend / former boss, no one. Everyone treats Rebecca like she is a postulant 13-year-old that just got caught sneaking out, trying to go to a Harry Styles concert. Even in the scene as Melanie like chastises Rebecca for like having made bad decisions in the past and having her current future or her current situation somewhat mimic that, Rebecca then like pretty much folds her hands and then just like looks down and is just like rocking back and forth. I mean, it's obviously one thing for Rebecca's daughter to treat her that way, and that one thing is not good. But, well, I guess it's just telling. Rebecca is an insecure person. So I think people in her life tend to baby her and make her feel like she doesn't quite know what she's doing, so someone else has to make sure that she's not gonna harm herself again. Like it's I'd hate it. But for all these people to treat her that way makes me feel like she deserves it or somehow feeds it, right? Like people treat you the way that you let them, and it's somewhat a mirror of how you treat yourself, unfortunately. And fortunately. So and I think, can see versions of that. I think that probably when we felt shitty about ourselves, we've probably let people like walk all over us or make us feel less than, and either like, it doesn't have to be romantic relationships, although I'm sure we can cite examples of that. And for Rebecca, you see a lot of examples of that. Weirdly, not with like, it feels like her romantic relationships, more like the familiar ones and friend ones. So in this scene, Zayed stands up. Zayed, the editors kept this thing in. So early on in this conversation, Melanie's like, so how's it going with you, Zayed? And Zayed's like, she's like, no, with your parent, how are your family going? He's like, yeah, and she's like, how are they feeling? Are they sad? He's like, no, I understand. He's like, this is how he says, like, I understand what you're saying. I'm going to say it. Give me a moment. I'm not dumb, lady. Shut up. My family is sad that I'm here, of course. Like, he says it, I feel like people talk down to Zayed, and Rebecca does it too. Like, I've said this too, where like Rebecca will just suddenly start talking in the worst English possible. Like, you go to Visa and, you're just like, okay, well, you can just say the articles. He'll still understand what you're trying to say if you speak correct English. I hate that. Anyway, but this conversation with Melanie, where she sort of is like inferring that he's dumb or can't understand what she's saying, he finally is like, I'm from Tunisia. I'm not this ex. He's from Morocco. And as my mom said, my hands are different. And I'll show you. So then Zayed's not a warm person in public. He sort of does the thing where he grabs Rebecca's like neck, holds her neck to his. It's like he's trying to hug her in the most masculine way possible, with like not so much body contact, but arm and head contact. Also shows off his massive fingers. He has very big, sausagey, big ass, girthy ass sausage fingers. And I feel like you have to understand that, because I understand that. I didn't read what you guys were saying, but I so appreciate you guys are hearing me when I was talking about Rebecca's insecurity and how she gets treated the way that, she ultimately feels about herself, and how it's not a weird or not unnormal thing, and you can get out of it, side hug religious thing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just want to say, it's like, when I say like, I've been there, I think that my relationships with people have changed when I felt better about myself. And I've seen relationships end, I think when I was able to like give myself more. So, but anyways, I was happy to see Zayed stick up for her and for himself. Being like, this is now, I am not going to I cannot do anything about his mistakes. I am not him. This is my time, which is a weird way of saying, let us live, lady. Jesus, with your Karen haircut. It's a lot of Karen talk, but that is a Karen haircut. Hey, Jonna. It's a cute icon. Good for her with the sausage fingers. But she needs to be more confident. Please upgrade the makeup. One more thing that I got to talk about is what in the Kool-Aid dye hell is happening to Rebecca's hair. In one of her, Sin Mendoza. Your mom's right. My mama told me you can tell the size of a man's by the size of a man's fingers. That's like my version of that song. Um, but oh, and it's snotted, sorry. I'm more cognizant of that. But yeah. I am just reading all your comments. So yeah, her Kool-Aid hair is just like in this confessional, honey, you can see the roots. The roots are dark, like that's my roots. Then yellow, 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 orange, 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 a little purple, then burgundy, 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 right? And then dark purple. Like it's like she sprayed her hair that morning and has been sweating. And so like it's sweating, it's like dark, but it's like hasn't darkened down there or it hasn't gotten to the ends yet. I mean, her hair's just, what it is? It's shocking for someone who seems to put on a little airs. If you're going to have a ring light, which is fine. I mean, look at my eyes right now. You see the ring. I have a ring light. But like, why would you why not you're gonna be on television? You're not gonna just dye your hair. Maybe it's like COVID or whatever, but like it could just be a one box. You got that daughter. Get the one box and then do the thing where like maybe she gets the cap and she pulls some streaks through. I'm not quite sure, but like there had to have been 1,000 better options. It always is remarkable how people will go on this show with their hair the way they do. And I'm looking at you, Darcy. Not that I'm looking at Darcy. She's not in this room. Is Waz still here? I don't know if Waz. So Waz probably watching this in California time, which means it actually is starting right now. So she's probably walking. She's probably in and out. I really appreciate you guys liking my makeup. Rebecca has had liposuction, face fillers, hair done a lot now. But all of that's fine. Like, so why is your hair looking like this in season 8? Rebecca, this is the second time you're on. Like, why does your hair look like that? Like, why is it one color? I don't ask a lot. I think that our makeup is fine. The way they talk to Zayed has a racist tone as well. Oh my God. Here. Okay, so yeah, I'm just happy that he stood up for. I'm just happy that he stood up for and said that. Like it made me feel like Zayed is at least he can be. Listen, he stands for what he thinks is right. And I think that I'm happy he did it in front of Melanie because he didn't overstep anything when he was around Rebecca's daughter and Rebecca's daughter's boyfriend. Come on. So, and I think that he obviously wasn't mean to Melanie, even though he said, Melanie was rude to me, whatever, in his Zayed way. But I also want to give it to Zayed that it feels like he is learning his English. And we have been privy to couples on the show that season 8 were how come you still don't know any either English or the language of your betrothed? And I'm looking at Paul and Karini. Paul doesn't know one lick of Portuguese. None of it. He's like a child that's half Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't know any of it. I'm sorry, half Brazilian is where Karini's from, but speak Portuguese. Okay, so let's talk about quickly Hazel and Tariq. So we have been titillated by the concept, and I'm speaking for all of us, that Hazel's bi. And we get to see them looking for a lover. So I know someone. I have a friend who is married and swings. They swing, and so I'm not part of that lifestyle. But this person showed me an app they were on, right? And honey, when I looked at that app, I was just looking at everything. And I would ask her questions because there'd be all these words, lingos, that I was oh, what does this mean? she was like, it just means that she wants to look and not touch. I don't know, whatever. Like, I actually don't remember one thing, but like, everyone does in every sort of, smaller community of something. Everyone has their lingo that you only know if you're in the world or whatever. So, fascinating, whatever. Just, couples like looking for peeps and single peeps and like what people want and like the rules and everything. And so I have been waiting and to watch like what Hazel's into. And Hazel's type, it seems to be brown and American. We're like, what does brown mean? Does it mean like a person like a Black American? Is brown just mean like person of color? Does brown mean like someone just tan? Latin? Brown eyes? Am I brown? Am I brown enough for? I mean, like, up and down, I was just like, what is it? What is it? What is it? So also we got to know this like backstory that we also, we know that Hazel is like uber religious and her parents are very religious or whatever. Hazel has a sister and that sister's bi. And when Hazel's parents found out, it was like, double hell no. And so Hazel never came out in her country, why she gets to like be excited to come out here and be out and proud. And I'm always just like, oh, so you do not think your parents are ever going to watch this show? Yeah, you just never think your parents going to watch this show. Like, TLC is in a lot of places, like I know this because I've talked to people that watch the show, obviously, and if from Australia, Canada, honey, like Ireland, honey, like African countries, like people be watching the show. So why does she think on season 2 that there's never going to be a time the parents going to watch the show? See that she's bi. Anyway, maybe she's not. I'm not going to go back. I don't know. Like, what's her thing? So, I also wanted to know when she was asking what petite means, and like, Tariq was explaining to her. I also wanted Tariq to be like, you're petite. She's like trying to guess. Like, 'cause I also like want to know, like, does she want a curvy girl? Does she want like a petite girl? It seems like she wants a femme girl. She sort of describes just like wanting a girlfriend slash like sister slash lover, and that I have in my very crude, ignorant, not bi way, I have this idea of like Victorian sleepover sisters. I think I've talked about this in this channel. Girls that, oh my God, first of all, Lou Guy, I love you so much. Thank you for this super chat as I talk about my like ignorant views of sexuality. Peace must go. You're so enjoyable and beautiful inside and out. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. And you've changed your picture. God, it's so small. It looks like little puppies in a pool. Little puppies like floating like on a tube in like a beautiful blue pool. It's probably not that at all though. Thank you so much. That's such a very, very generous super chat, and I really appreciate it. And I always love you. You're the best. Thank you. Have a good weekend, my boo. So yeah, she just kind of wants like cute girlfriend to like hang out with and then just like make out with all night long. Victorian sleepover sisters, Doesn't that make sense to you? So, yeah, but like, what is her type, And they talk about the rules and, like, when did Tariq find out that Hazel was bi? Like, I have to think that he knew that she was bi before he ever met her in the Philippines, right? Like, don't you talk about that stuff? For instance, dating apps in America, men want to talk about sex before you even meet them, right? Before you've even smelt them in real life, before you've seen their eyeball take your image in for real, men want to talk about sex. So he had to have known that she was bi. But Tariq makes it seem like he's just this great guy that found out the love of his life, this Angelina Jolie lookalike, honey, was bi, and so he's going out of the kindness of his heart, let her express her sexuality. Is that it? Because it also sort of feels like Tariq loves it. Right? Hazel said she likes them brown with good breath. Yeah. Good breath is necessary. And I wonder, like, is that a stab at Minty? Was Minty not minty enough? Was Minty not minty fresh? I'm gonna kill myself for that joke. Okay, I'm mad at myself. Just so you know, I'm not happy with myself. What a kind man. He's so excited to choose. Like, like out of the kindness of his heart, like, oh, I didn't know about this app, but for you, I guess I'll install this swinger app and find some hot brown big titty. I mean, whatever you want, Hazel. There are rules. Rule number 1, Ari's never to know about it, never to know. So that's interesting because they keep describing this other person as a girlfriend. And I guess it means, like, to me, a girlfriend means like someone who's around. Are you saying that, like, I mean, like someone who's, like cooks dinner with you. And then you guys like eat the dinner together over some wine and like candlelight, the 3 of you. And then like when dinner's done, dessert is served. What is the nature of what they want with this person? Like, just to like meet this person at a motel and hook up with? Or like be like, you are our girlfriend when we don't have Ari around. And then when we have Ari around, you don't exist. I mean, or if Ari's around, you just get to come over and hang out, but like put your penis away or whatever. Like, not your penis. It's a girl. Sorry. Put your titty away. I'm not quite sure, but they're gonna have to figure that out, honey. That's not for me to figure out, but it is for me to talk about and really think about. I mean, every horny detail of. So the breakup, do all 3 break up or just the girlfriend leaves? Great question. So there was this, I don't know if any of you people are obnoxious enough like me to follow this disgusting person in this one point of my life. I no longer follow this person, but there is this person who is a Greek billionaire who owns the company that does those dumbass holograms. Okay. His name is Alki David. Okay. And he was dating this. No, he was okay. So I think he was married, and then he started dating this woman, right? Her name is Jennifer Stano, and they got married. And then she was on like a reality show pilot called Trophy Wives or whatever, and they're just like over the top billionaire, like Instagram hungry, whores. Okay, God bless. So that's why I know them. So all the trauma went down, and I'm only telling the story because I'm hoping that someone knows who I'm talking about, because they're like somewhat famous in the Instagram world. I mean, whatever, like, I don't know, like in the seedy world, underpinning world of, Instagram fame, hungry people that are also just happen to be billionaires. So Alki David, Jennifer Sano have 2 kids, and they're swingers or whatever, and they bring in a girlfriend, and the girlfriend and Jennifer end up leaving, and then now they're together. So all I'm saying is there is a question here, like what happens if they break up? And it's like, all bets are off. Who stays with who, honey? Who gets the kids? I don't, like in this case, obviously the kids are Ari, who will be with Tariq, and whatever Hazel's son's name is. But this was just them talking. We still don't, the profile is live. So, the bait is on the hook, honey. We're going to see who they like reel in. And hopefully that person likes Listerine. So, Mike and Natalie. So, Mike and Natalie, Obviously, Mike had his mom over, and the mom, who, is very stoic and has a bananas hair thing. I mean, it's like long, 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 puff, puff, puff. I mean, that hair is like, were you just staring at it like, it's so specific. And to me, there's an air of like fundamentalist Mormon. One of the like so fundamentalist Mormon that the Mormons are like, no, not you. You're not one of us, but like there's just something about it. So um the mom obviously has convinced Mike to put up or shut up when it comes to this wedding thing. Like, she got to do something. She got to invite her peeps. Like, let's do it. So Mike is like, okay, I'll get married. But the mom also doesn't feel like it's going to last. Natalie knows that the mom runs the ship. And the mom doesn't really like Natalie. Natalie really shot herself in the foot when she threw that ring. It is interesting how that moment, I think, really shaped like everything we're seeing. And it goes to show that Mike is a sensitive person. He's way more sensitive than Natalie is. It's not that he is feminine. But I mean, he's sensitive and he's so, I think, hurt by that, as well as the continued stabs that he's not somehow good enough, that she is lowering herself, trying to decide whether she'll be with him. It must be really, really hard. I don't like it. Oh, hi. Hey, Sharika. Nice to meet you. Oh, Karen, I love you. It was in their first season. I didn't know what they were talking about. Remember when Dean asked if Hazel could get down with Tariq? That's what he was talking about. And she was like, if only you knew. Woo! Yeah. Okay, so Natalie, of course, is like now in the bed she made, which is very cold and not to her liking and ringless, honey. It's a ringless bed. She's looked for the ring. And the Mike's mom leaves, and Natalie, although she got his like weird verbal commitment of a certain date, like he doesn't want to plan anything. And at one point it's like, well, we don't really have to have a wedding like right away. We can just like kind of get married, and I guess your mom has to be there, and we'll just whatever. Like he's trying to back out of it at every moment. Okay. So he knows he has to like somewhat commit. And I think that she's like, well, okay, so let me just unpack my stuff in a smelly closet. So they go to Squim to town, and she likes to be in town now. And they go to like some knick-knack paddywhack store. I'm not quite sure. It's like a home decor store, I guess. And just like a mishmash of things. Like, here's a baby stroller, like a pram. Not like one of those nice prams you can actually use, just like one made from wicker. If you put a baby in, the baby would just fall out. Yes, fake baby stroller. Yeah, I don't know what you're supposed to do with that fake baby stroller. You're supposed to like put some flowers in it and put it in the corner. She loves that fake baby stroller. Honey, she decides to take this like, we don't have plates for the wedding. She's like, everything is reminding me of all the things I don't have for the wedding or the ring. Ha ha ha, can we please plan? And he's like, I don't want to plan it. He says yes to letting her buy some potpourri, but that's almost too much. Like, he doesn't like the smell of that potpourri spray, and he doesn't like her planning things. He wants to buy some alcohol cups. I really didn't see what he bought. I was confused. Were they like beer glasses? You tell me. And they like get in fisticuffs, almost, not really, but in a fight in the store. And I love the sales lady who like gets into this conversation by being like, hearing Natalie talk and being like, so are you guys lifelong residents of Squim or what? Just got in here yesterday? I can't talk, but it's basically, asking an asinine question because she has an accent. And Natalie's like, I'm used to you dumb bitches asking this question all the time because of this accent, like, no, I'm here because of the fiance visa, and like gets the whole story. The woman's like, so have you planned everything? And she's like, no. And she's like, I don't really have the ring. We don't know anything yet. And that salesperson tips out of the conversation, just like, okay, cool, bye. Here's, spray, like the spray, cool. I'll be over here rigging up whatever beer things Mike wants. There's also this weird, I should have said before, then something, okay, I think I got a little confused. Okay, tell me if I got this wrong. So that happens, then they go on a hike, she's wearing makeup, and he like calls her out in the makeup wearing, and she gets upset, and she's not wearing a lot of makeup. I think she's wearing an appropriate amount of makeup. Maybe it's a lot for a hike, but it's still not as much as she's wearing in the confessional, honey, where she has like the burgundy mouth and like the Britney eye makeup, where you're just like, why did you do it to yourself? Bye, Jay. If you haven't, Jay, you can always subscribe to me / go to Vanity Fair, my Facebook group, and, continue this conversation / always know when I'm going live. Thanks. Bye. I love you, Jay. Sorry, I'm just playing with you. But yes, thank you. You're the best and I appreciate you. So she gets mad about the makeup conversation because she like wanted to look cute, and instead of being like, you look cute today, he's like, you're wearing makeup and what's so greasy about you? And by the way, I feel like besides her confessional makeup, which I just talked about, which I hate, I've enjoyed Natalie's makeup and makeup free look this whole time. Natalie has some good skin. I will give credit where credit's due. Natalie's skin is on point all the time. It's glowy. It's beautiful. Like I'm into Natalie's skin. I like her makeup in this scene. She's wearing just like a little light lip and a little eyeshadow, but it's like she wants to look good for her man, And so she feels like she got some criticism and she doesn't like it. And so he tries to talk to her on this ride home, honey, or ride there, and she's not saying one word. She is tight-lipped. But she gets around trees. She starts smelling the trees. You know what? I realize I messed up. I think this happened before the closet conversation, but that's fine. It's neither here nor there. So she starts smelling the trees, honey, because that's what she likes, good smells. And she's hugging them, and it makes her feel good. And then she's like, oh, Mike, do that thing where you spin me around. He's like, this thing, and she's like, yes, like, I don't know why she loves that thing that much. I don't think that looks that fun. But she's happy again until she gets mad again, until she gets what she wants again. Natalie has, I think, some soul searching to do. And I think she seems to be aware that she can work on things because she seems to have the awareness and she feels, she tends to apologize and see where she's gone wrong after. And she's cognizant that her mom is like, he's really nice. You be nice to him. Knowing that like she has the capacity to not be nice to him. Okay, so sorry, I got a text. I think that's it about them. We'll just see. Yeah, I did squish around those things. We'll just see if she talks about if they get to like, I don't know, plan everything, which obviously they do because they did get married. Okay, now I'm gonna get to Stephanie and Ryan. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling up to my notes. Stephanie and Ryan. Stephanie reminds me kind of like, there's something like Dina Lohan-esque about Stephanie. Do you feel that? You have notes? Yeah, I do have notes. Oh, I have a whole Google Doc of every season that I watch where I furiously write notes. Sometimes I furiously write. Sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, what just happened? Well, this is my job. I'm very professional. I don't see why you didn't know that. My professional studio. Honey. Oh, yes. She's working. This is my 9 to 5. My 9 to 5 is actually my 5 to 8:20 because I start watching the episode at 5. I go live. I've been live now for an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm playing with you guys. Yeah, Stephanie is crazy. So Stephanie got to Belize, honey, brought all the watches and brought all the underwear, okay? And then, like, grandma, honey, who hasn't seen the grandkids in a very long time, she bequeaths all her gifts to him. Look what Nana got you. It's your favorite new sweater. And Ryan's like, I'll wear it. Like, that is it. That is what it was. You can't tell me it's not. Okay, so they've had their first night and they wake up and Stephanie's upset because they didn't bone. Now, just like Angela and Michael, we have been promised a very sexual, passionate relationship. One in which, honey, when they see each other, it's bone town. It's 8 times a night, honey. If you've seen that man, that Ryan, he's young, he's pounding it, like that is what we've been promised. But that's not what happened. Stephanie bought all those watches, including that $3,000 one. By the way, what $3,000 watch are you just going to fly around with without a case? Why would you buy someone a $3,000 watch and not keep it in its case? And what watch didn't come with a beautiful case? By the way, $3,000 is a very nice watch, but I mean, like, what $3,000 watch just comes like in a plastic sleeve? Some people found the watch on Amazon for $200. Oh, Karen said the same thing as me. Okay, so, okay. She calls him out on it. And he's like, well, I was tired, and you were, complaining about your tummy and your arm, and you were tired. And she's like practically falling asleep as she's like, he's like, as you see, like, would you even remember? Like, I feel like Ryan should have been like, we did. Don't you remember? Whatever. Okay. Side note is I found out through you guys, and I guess everyone now knows, that at some point, and I haven't even truly researched it, spoiler alert, or not, because I'm not even sure they're going to talk about it, Stephanie accuses Ryan of using rape. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't read the thing, but it seems like rape or rape-like allegations or sexual force or one of the rape-like situation, if not rape. I don't know when that's supposed to happen. Obviously, I think at some point during this Belize trip. So watching all of this is not fun. And what started out being like, oh, what a crazy character that Stephanie is, and then watching her be like a coked up Xanax pill popping Judy Garland who's obsessed with her cat and uses money to manipulate this person at first, and then now with the flip of, well, what the actual F is going down? These are intense allegations, and seems like it takes precedence over the drama of the storyline. So what is it? It's now like, how do I talk about these people? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems somewhat trivial to talk about, well, then she's talks about sleeping with Harris and he knew it, which, yes, she does. And obviously he already knew. We already knew that he knew, and however this disintegrates into what's supposed to happen, I don't know if I want to watch this. I don't want to watch someone either whatever, like the aftermath of someone getting raped or accusing someone of that. I mean, uh, whoever what I mean, if that happened to Stephanie, I don't want to see it. I feel bad for her. Like, get her off TV and get her help. You know what I'm saying? This is so whatever it is, it's like I don't want either side of it. So I don't even know how I'm supposed to talk about this dumbass shit now. It makes me upset. Like, if this happened, then you would have known that that happened, TLC, and we should never have had these people on the show. That's now your problem to deal with because they're getting sued. When I say it's their problem, I mean like Stephanie is suing TLC for like that's now what you should be dealing with your lawyers off camera. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to have to make commentary on it. I didn't know it was going to be like this until last episode. I was already into it. You know, the story, I mean, of like what you were presenting, which was this crazy cat lady who like sells dreams to aging women of being skinny. I mean, I don't know. If a crime was committed, they should take them off the show. Yeah, it's like, how do you talk about it? I don't get it. It's like, I'm not, yeah, like, are they going to play everything out? Then it like becomes, this is like anytime the R word is brought up, same thing, like, there's just, it, you like don't talk about it's like that story and those people like are no longer entertaining to watch on reality shows, right? So for instance, same thing with suicide. So like when Taylor Armstrong's husband killed himself from Real House of Beverly Hills, they had the good nature to like take Taylor off the show, right? Because now, because it means they have to deal with all of that. It's very horrible for them, right? It's a horrible thing that Armstrong's husband committed suicide. She has a child by them. Like she had to get off the show. Now deal with that. It's like too horrible to like comment on. And which was kind of like a little bit what happened, I think, like between Portia and Candy on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because wasn't this was like when like Portia got or like accused Candy of rape, of drugging women and raping them. And then she like it feels like Portia either recanted or something, but they took Portia off the show. And we never talked about it again. Which now that I bring that up, Candy is best friends with Teenie of T.I. and Teenie Harris, right? Of course they are because they were in a group together. And Teenie and T.I. have one of their friends accusing them of like this shit right now, drugging and raping them. Yeah. We just said it. So it's a lot of, I mean, it's like a lot. Like, and it's not fun to talk about, obviously. There's no good way of talking about it. It's horrible and a horrible, like, traumatic thing. It's not like, it's not the escape we want from like a reality show docuseries. Ah, so wise back in the convo. But I mean, listen, Portia said it. And Rob Kardashian said it. I don't remember. It's something like I had to look this up, but they brought up this tweet that Rob had said to T.I. Because, like, when Rob and China were going through it, T.I. said something, spoke about Rob being dumb or something, and Rob came back and was like, don't speak on me, you know, like Chai told me everything, how like you paid a young Chai, Black China, to sleep with you and Teenie and blah blah blue and like blah, blah, you know, like, so don't speak on my daughter. That's what Rob said in this tweet. Also, like low key calling his daughter's mom literally a paid prostitute. But I mean, you know, like that's neither here nor there. So he knew what he was doing. So there's a lot of people that have rang the alarm of what could be happening in Hotlanta. Whew. That was just it was a tangent that we went on. But, okay. I will say that the crazy that if we were going to isolate what we might know happen in the future between Stephanie and Ryan to what we were presented with the scene, she is trying to be like, I had to sleep with Harris because, as you remember, you were texting that girl and told her you could go to Cabo, and you know how Harris is because you introduced us. He's so charming and bold, you know that. And when he wants something, he just takes it. And that was me. He was so complimentary, understand like how I could, like she just kept blaming everyone. I don't know. It is what looks like such a toxic situation that the fact that this already horrible toxic situation could take such a deep, dark turn. It's just like, ugh, I want to tap out. I don't want to be in it. I'm cool. That's all I have for these peeps. That's all I have. What was I going to say? Who didn't we have? I don't remember. We didn't have someone. Or did we have every couple? I've been talking for an hour and 21 minutes. So I'm going to continue to eat this banana Nutella cake that I made myself. Let's talk Brandon and Julia. Oh, I did. I talked about them first, I feel like, because they always are shown first. Family tablet. Oh, is this like literally a family tablet account? Like little kids. I want you to be like, yeah, like a parent. This is, honey, the iPad that goes to the kids, or right now you're on it to be on this 90-day after show with me, please. Oops. Marie, it's okay. I made this Nutella banana bread yesterday. I didn't have enough bananas, so I just started putting stuff in a bowl and mixing it around. I didn't measure a thing. I used oat flour. It's great. When I first made it, when it first came out, it had the consistency of like bread pudding. Now it's more bread, or now it's like condensed. No, it's firmed up. It's really good. Do you talk about Jovi? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But I talked about those people. But you can talk a little bit, say whatever you want, and I'm reading. Nah, I just don't like Jovi at all. That's why I'm so Yara. Because it's like, I don't care if you tell me that Yara's uppity or bitchy. She's actually not. If you had to deal with, you wouldn't. You would deal with what she had to deal with. How mad Brandon's dad got when Brandon was bartering. I mean, I get it because, Brandon's dad wants Brandon to be a man. What Brandon's dad should do, though, is talk to his wife about that. You are like his parents. You are his parents. I'm not like. You are literally his parents. He has no brothers and sisters. If he's not something, it's your fault. How can you get mad at someone for not being a man when he's telling you he wants to do something and you're arguing with him and making him feel bad and trying to guilt him to doing what you want him to do? Oh, yeah. People on IG are saying that Brandon's are swingers allegedly. They are absolutely swingers. You can smell it on them. I said this. If Natalie thinks Mike's closet smells, nothing smells as much as the sex swinging off of that couple. There is so much DNA running through Betty. And Betty's hot tub. Have you seen David's new look? He actually looks really good. I don't know if Lana is still around, though. I know old news, but I just saw him. Oh, no. Did he cut his hair? Look, I think David's a catch for someone. He's rich, loves cats, and there are a lot of women out there. A lot of women who only would be too happy to be with a man who's rich and loves cats. Now, listen, the van life thing, that's on them. But now he's on a television show, honey. I mean, David has options, and they're not bad options. Thank you all, by the way, so much for liking this video and thumbs upping this video, and my beautiful brand new mods. New mods to the channel, but old friends, you know. Thank you for calling that out, though. He cut his hair, his facial hair, and looks great. He's still living in Vegas. Someone said that Yara should be with him. Yes, 80, 81. Okay, should I sing? Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Thumbs, 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 thumbs it up. That was a little off key. I blame myself. Lana. Lana, I know, just like, oh, so gross. Oh, the grossest. Ugh, I'll never forget it. My number one hit. All right, baby booze. Last thoughts. I'm trying to think. Was anything crazy that happened? No, not yet. I feel like we're gonna have to get to a crazy episode where like things go down because there's been some transitional episodes so far. So, oh, Marie, you should always be cheery. Other than that, yeah, we'll see. Okay, baby boos. I love you all so much. And I really appreciate you guys being here. I really, thanks for just like hanging out with me for an hour and a half. There's like 138 people in this room just hanging out with me. Oh, I was going to say, is anyone on Clubhouse? You're like, what is this, Chris? Either you're going to have two reactions, which is yes, no, or what is this, Chris? So Clubhouse is another stupid social media app. I just joined, and it was described to me as if like Facebook and a walkie-talkie app came together. I think it's more like this live room, but I can have you guys talk. Okay, I just joined, and I feel like it's really interesting. I'm actually happy I'm talking about this because I can host a room like right now, but you wouldn't see me. You would just hear me. But then I could either have you guys talk and we would hear your voice or someone like wah or something or whatever come into the room and talk about things. And it's kind of like, it's more of a podcast if you're just a listener. You're just listening to people talking into a room. Almost, I'm going to bring my foot over. Almost like you're at like a conference. Where as like the host, either you're just talking, or again, you're just hearing me talk, or I like moderate some sort of panel. And yeah, I mean, people are talking about this app. Elon Musk is literally talking on it tonight, So you guys tell me what you guys think of that. Can you please comment on Moff's Chris having a baby? You guys, I know you hate me. I just do not know about Moffs. I don't know about Love After Lockup. Ugh. But I know that Wah came out with a video about Chris having a baby, so maybe I'll just watch Wah's video. I don't know. Linda, it's a good episode. Put it on in the back, Linda. Just like, you don't have to like Watch every moment of it. I think the most important parts are really, again, the bookends. The scene between Brandon and his parents at the Chili's, and Stephanie and Ryan about Harris. You're making me hungry, Chris. Oh, yeah, about that banana bread? It's good. I just spit. I gleeked a little bit. That was like gleeking was one of my strongest skills in school. Do you know what gleeking means? It's gross, but it's when I push my tongue against the teeth, my front teeth, and then spit will just fly out. It's the most anti-COVID thing you could possibly do in this time. But I'm really good at it. And my secret is to be hungry. You have to think like before you gleek, you got to think about like the juiciest burger. And then you're just like, I didn't do it. But like then you'd, anyway. Whew, what? I should go. Anyway. Oh, Lisa, you just came in. No, Lisa, no. Lisa. Use StreamYard and you can have people on screen with you. Yeah, Linda, that one, and I haven't done that, but I have done comedy shows on Twitch, and I also feel like I have to get that. Happy Drool, I love you. I love you guys so much. Okay, I am gonna leave because I'm now just babbling. So this is how it is. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I will do the edited recap of the episodes I've missed for edited recaps, which means 3. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, and 9. Which means it's gonna be such a long, horrific video for me to edit. So I hope you feel bad for me. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Chris L. Farah. Of course, if you want to talk more, please subscribe always to this channel. I need it. And like this video and like it when it already gets uploaded. I don't know if you can do that if you've already liked it, but try. And you can go to Facebook, type in Vanity Farah. I have a Facebook group. I always post before I go live, and we can post things throughout the week. And other than that, that's it. That's all I have for you. Truly. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you to everyone in this room. Thank you to new mods. Thank you to new peeps who joined for the first time. And I hope you have a great week. All right. So take care of yourselves and each other. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Okay. Much love. Bye. Banana bread.